Good morning and welcome back to the French River on this cold May the 20th morning. It is freezing up here, folks. I'm thinking it's about 8 or 9 degrees Celsius. Not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but it is very cold for May. The only good thing about it is it's keeping the black flies down. Well, today got something really exciting for you. On my International Harvester 444 tractor, we're going to change the oil. Now, I meant to do this last year when I bought it, but I just ran into time obligations and couldn't do it. Mosquitoes are still active. But I managed to get the oil, get a filter, and today we're going to get her done. So this thing is running the International Harvester BD154 4-cylinder super diesel engine, where we don't measure performance by how much speed or torque it has, but by how much blow-by it's got on any given particular day. Okay, so you can see here I've got my Rotella 1540 high-performance diesel engine oil, not to be confused with Nutella, so don't eat it. I've got my oil filter kit, so it is a canister kit, but it's in line. It's not like just, screw the can off like your car and put on a new one. We have to screw the can off, then take the filter and the seal out of it, put in the new filter and the new seal, tighten her back up. And I really only need 2 sockets for this. I got 1 1/8 inch for the oil pan and 9/16 for the oil filter. So I got my 1 1/8 inch socket here, and I did have the engine idling for a while just to get the engine warm. Don't want it hot, I don't want to get burnt. We just want a little bit warm so that the engine oil runs out a little bit better than if it was cold. So, oh boy. Oh, my Lord. Oh, I guess that wasn't too bad. It doesn't feel too hot. I'm assuming it's going to just drop straight down. There she goes. Oh, perfect. Nothing like getting filthy. Just gonna let that drain out. Let it drain off my hand for a bit. Yeah, that is some thick black stuff. All right, this has been dripping for about 5 or 10 minutes. I cleaned the nut off, so I'm gonna put this back in, tighten her up, and then we'll move on to taking the filter out. That is snug, and I'm just going to give it a little bit more. I'm sure there's a torque specification for that, but don't think we're going to get too excited about it. All right. Now, can't see from that angle, I'll show you in a minute, but the oil filter is just right over here on what would be the passenger side of a car. If you're in the UK, it'd be on the driver's side. But for all intent and purposes, on the right-hand side of the tractor is where we'll find the oil filter. I'm going to move over there. We'll take that out. Okay, now I'm going to unbolt this oil filter here, and very easily accessible on the right-hand side of the tractor. Got a 9/16 socket. Oops, that's tight. I'm going to loosen it. And I want to believe, if memory serves, that there's some kind of spring-loaded stuff in here. So I think we're going to want to be careful. Yeah, I can sort of feel that. Oh boy, that's going to be messy. And this is why you don't want the oil too hot. So I'm just going to let some of that drip for a bit. Yeah. Nobody said this was going to be a clean job. Okay. So there's a bolt here that goes right up through the housing. There's some kind of a spring inside of it with the filter. There we go. You don't want to drop that down into your oil. You have to go fishing for it. All right. Just let the oil drain out of that. All right, so got my cleaner container here. I'm just going to pull out this filter, kind of see if it, I mean, oops, there's that, that was at the bottom, just like a little washer to hold it in on the bottom. I'll take that out, and I thought there was supposed to, yeah, down, and there is, can't see it, but inside of there, there's a spring. Okay. So, just want to sort of see that. Kind of looks like it's pretty much the same size, sort of a different kind of a filter, but it's supposed to be the one for this tractor, so I think we're good. A little bit of Varsol in here and clean these parts off. Ugh, good Lord. Clean as a whistle. Okay, so right up here on this pickup part of the oil filter, inside this ring there's a seal. Now they gave me a seal, but as I hold it up here, it feels to me like it's too big. So, you know, I'm just trying to fit it around, and to me it just, I can see how I got that extra on there. So I'm not going to take the old seal out of there and damage it. It wasn't leaking before. Chances are it'll be good enough. Okay, I think we can put this back together. I see no difference between top and bottom. November 2020. Wow. I don't see any difference between top and bottom. I'm going to put the writing up. If that makes any difference, I don't know. And let's see. So I got my bolt. We've got the spring. So the spring would have to go in next. And then this piece here. And then the filter. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to sort of stick that on the filter. Stick that on the filter. I got my spring on the bolt, and I'm just going to kind of just sort of do it like that, and then I'm going to stick it upside down. There. And now I should be able to just bolt that right in there. I'm just going to guide that threaded rod right into the hole. Start tightening. Okay. There, again, I don't know what the torque value is for that. Just going to use common sense and snug it up, not too tight, but tight enough. All right, we're ready for fill-up time. I'll take my oil filler cap off here. Eesh. Well, there's no water in it. That's a good thing, folks. No water. I'm not going to try to shoot it in there by hand. That'll be disastrous. So I don't know exactly what this takes. I know it's going to be more than 5 liters. Whoa, shit. All right, you can see I better hang on to that. I've got plenty of oil here. This is some extra that I had from another project, plus I got another 2 5-liter containers, so we should have lots. It's not like that engine block hasn't had a little bit of oil on it before. Curious to know what this is going to do for my oil pressure. Typically this thing was running around just under, like I would say about 38 psi. I think it's in psi. Whatever it is on the tractor gauge. I've never put an actual good oil gauge on it, but the tractor gauge shows about 38. Hot, cold, whatever, it doesn't seem to matter. Okay, so this was about 2/3 of a jug of 5-liter oil, so we'll get some more. All right, we got jug number 2. It's not really the right way to do it, but it'll be easier on its side. I just can't quite hold 2 of them at the same time, so we'll just let it glug, glug, glug a bit. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to do here, I got a fair bit of leaking around my oil pan. I just want to go along and just give these bolts a retorquing, and I can't come up with a clear torque value off of the internet or AI. I see values anywhere from 10 to 26 foot-pounds. I've got mine set at 16 foot-pounds. It's a little bit tighter, not a lot tighter, but it's just a wee bit snugger than what's these are already at. I'm assuming they've already been torqued at one point, so I'm just going to round robin, double check that they're all the same torque. Maybe that'll stop my leaking. So just giving them all just another little snug. You can hear the click of the torque wrench. This one, we'll put that one way up there. Well, let's come back down this way here. That one's good. That one's good. That one is good. That one. Oh, I guess I can get this one right on an angle. That's good. Don't see any back in there. There, perfect. Okay, moment of truth. Climb in here, start this thing up, and see what we get for oil pressure. Fuel on. All right. So this says oil pressure. I can't read if it says anything else, but like I said, it's typically just a little bit below the 40. So let's see what happens here. Glow plugs. You shouldn't need glow plugs in May. I know. There it goes. All right, well, it took a little time for that gauge to come up. It was starting to make me worry there, but that was probably just the oil filter having to fill up. And I can see it's gone right back to its mark of about 38 and holding steady. So I'm just gonna let that run for a minute, and then I'm gonna check the oil level. All right, this has been settling for about 15 minutes. Just gonna pull out this dipstick way down here and see what we got. Still black as all get up. Jeez, Murphy. Oh well, it looks like we hit the nail right on the head. There's our maximum mark. Our minimum mark is right down there. We're just about halfway in between, not quite, but just about halfway in between. So I say that's pretty good. Well, I think that's it for this. Seems like everything went fairly well. Of course it should. It's a pretty simple task to do. Glad I did it. I didn't come across any chunks of bearings or any other metallic stuff in the oil when I was playing around with it. So that's a good thing. So all in all, I think this turned out fairly well. I'm going to get this thing out of here, turn her around, drive her back in, and later on I'm going to have some other videos coming up. I got my Yamaha, my 2000 Yamaha King Cobra quad. I'm going to need to change the fluids in that. And then I've got my Husqvarna R322T articulating all-wheel drive mower. That's going to need some carb rebuilding. It just is, the idle speed, it just fluctuates up and down, up and down, up and down constantly. And I'm told that, yeah, that just sounds like it needs a good cleaning. So we're going to take that apart and clean it. I got another video coming up with my Troy built weed trimmer, the little push valve to get the gas into it. It pushed in and it stayed deflected. It doesn't come back out anymore, which seems to indicate to me that something in the suction line is probably plugged up, maybe old gas, some globby stuff from last year. So lots of things going on up here. And of course, it is time to get out to the island. This is getting to be the end of May. It should be a lot warmer, but very looking forward to getting out to the island, and hopefully we'll come across some exciting videos out there. So thanks for watching, folks. Don't forget, click the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot, and I look forward to seeing you up here on another video at Canadian Island Life. Thanks for now. Fire in the hole. Whoops.